You know, when I play a game, I want to be taken away from my problems in the world. I want to be transported somewhere where the stresses in my life don't matter. And all this game does is stress me the fuck out. What's up, homies? It's your homie Ed, here to talk about The Last of Us 2 today on the PlayStation 4 from Naughty Dog. And I'm not really going to go that in-depth on the review. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm not going to break it into different segments like I see a lot of other people do, because your boy just isn't that organized, and to be honest, I just don't have that many nice things to say about the game. Now, I didn't think it was a bad game. I thought the actual story of the whole thing was very good. I thought that it was very emotional, very dramatic, and it all kind of, had its pieces that played a part in this overall journey that Ellie and Abby have to go on. And I don't really know if that's a spoiler at this point. Abby is the second character you play as about halfway through the game. You basically just play the 3 days that you play as Ellie from the perspective of Abby. After that happens, then the game continues on and on and on. And that's maybe my biggest gripe with this game, is that it always just seems like it's never ending, like it's just going to go on and on and on. And that wouldn't really be a problem if, the game was just full of, just full of action and full of things to do. But for the most part, to me, between the good battles, it felt like a majority of the game was just kind of wandering from point A to point B so you could watch 20 to 30 minutes of cutscenes. And the wandering wouldn't have even been that bad if I could just walk straight there, but they want to really waste your time. They make you kind of just go through these buildings and go through windows and climb through this hole in the wall and shimmy through here. Now put your gas mask on, you got mushroom people biting you. It's just the whole thing seemed like they wanted to just waste your time and make you take these extraordinary lengths of time just to do these simple tasks. I can't just walk from this building to that building over there. I've got to go through a whole fucking apartment complex for some reason. I can't climb over this little barrier that's a foot high. And for a game that's so focused on having great graphics, for being realistic, that's realism? I can't walk through a fucking bush. I got to go through this whole building now just so you can make me take an hour to get to this cinematic? I don't like that. I like the story. Like I said, I thought it was very emotional. And, there were even parts where your boy kind of teared up a little bit. Not even always sad tears, even, triumphant, happy tears at points. Because you really do go on a journey with Ellie, and you kind of see her in her own way become a woman, become an adult and become dependent. And, independent, and not have to, have so much Joel there to protect her or somebody to have her back. This is really kind of, Ellie's redemption in a way, her kind of coming of age. It's the best way to describe this game. And, there are plenty of characters that, are part of Ellie's life, people that she's close to that, come into the story and add elements. But, sorry for the spoilers, pretty much everybody in this game fucking dies. And that's another big problem I had. I get it. You want me to be sad. You want me to understand why Ellie is feeling the feelings she feels. But killing everybody, making me bummed out every 20 to 30 minutes doesn't really make a great game. And that's another thing. I think Naughty Dog was more focused on making you sad than actually making an enjoyable gameplay experience. I don't like Lifetime. That's not why I play my games. I don't play them to have these emotional roller coasters. I play them so I can get out of reality, so I can be a superhero, so I can shoot zombies, so I can do, these amazing things, not so I can experience the life of a young woman trying to figure out who she is. So if you like the Telltale games, if you like games where, the cinematics and just the general traveling are a big element, then you'll probably love this game. It'll probably be fucking awesome to you. But to me, it was just honestly very boring at points. The parts where the story would spike up would get you interested for a moment, but then you would go right back into just mindlessly wandering through buildings, going through the fucking road, walking down the highway, doing this little puzzle, turning the generator on. It just felt like a lot of useless shit that you didn't really need to do, that they only put there to make the game last longer. The game could have been 10 hours shorter, and I still probably would have liked it. I probably would have liked it more than I like it now, because at least, you know, I would have been done quicker, but I would have had more fun. It would have been less of me just doing this. You know, that maybe that's a good thing. You know, this game had so many cinematics. What none of the girls I'm talking to mad at me. I was able to text them back immediately. I didn't have shit going on. So one of the big things I've heard as far as people hating on this game are that they don't like Abby, and that they don't like, you know, parts of the story. And that's what kind of blows my mind, because I thought the story was great. I thought Abby was great. I just thought the fucking game sucked. I thought the combat was cool, because the few times where you did get into big combat situations, there was a feeling of just helplessness and having to be strategic and looking around you. And there's not many games where you look down, you see a brick, and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm about to chunk this brick in this guy's face, stab him in the neck. This game is very brutal. And maybe that's another part of the combat I like, is just the coldness to it all. In this game, Ellie, you know, she has emotion, she has a good heart, but she has completely lost, you know, all care for these people she's after. I mean, she's coming at them like a wolf, like an animal, just tearing these people apart. And you see it in these combat scenes. A lot of games, you know, they give you that generic, you know, 1-2 move you do. And this one, you know, every situation, depending on the weapon you have, what you're doing, is a little bit different. And, you know, in most games you would run up and just simply stab somebody. You really get a sense of Ellie's strength, how she is, because, you know, these battles, you have people blocking you, you're taking your knife and you're slicing their arms up. They're not just dropping in one hit, you're seeing them take this wear and tear. And that is why I think the combat is so good, because it's not realistic by any means, because, I mean, it's not like you can play this game and then go do these battles, but they got it a lot closer to how actual combat from the perspective of a regular person would be. Even with things where, like, you're reloading your gun, you know, you play Call of Duty, the guy's like, and you're aiming. In this game, you know, you fucking shoot a shot, your gun sways, you get a little dizzy, you gotta reload your shit, it takes a second. Sometimes you don't reload quick enough. Now this mushroom head motherfucker's biting your neck meat out. And that is a real sense of disparity, a real sense of panic, a real sense of urgency. And it makes you, you know, when you approach a situation, am I gonna be crazy? Am I gonna be stealthy? How am I gonna do this? That was my favorite part of the game, was just the combat and me having to be strategic and plot everything out. Everything else I didn't really care for, and I'm going to try very hard not to give away big spoilers of the game, because I know some of you still haven't played it, and that's probably the reason you're watching this. But, you know, it wasn't that much to me. You play, you know, 3 days of Ellie kind of on her journey to find this Abby girl. Then they find each other, and instead of continuing the story, you go back and you play the same fucking 3 days with Abby. And granted, yeah, it's different, but you're basically figuring out shit you already know for the most part. You're like, oh, I'm gonna come back and this is gonna happen. This is gonna be the way this is. It felt like they wanted me to play with Abby and they wanted me to care about her, but I already knew enough about Abby that I didn't really need to play those parts. If they really wanted to make me enjoy it, they should have just made the first half of the game Ellie, then split over to Abby after they encounter each other, you know. And you know, spoiler alert, 2 people in the fucking game run into each other. You know, be angry about it. That's just how it goes. But I thought Abby was a little bit cute, to be honest with you. You know, a lot of people, they're really hating on Abby, saying, you know, this buff woman, I'm not attracted to her. Why we gotta have this sex scene? You know, I'm gonna tell y'all fellas, don't be scared of a strong, independent woman. Okay, you know, Abby might, you know, be maybe a little more buff than the average woman. She might have a little more grit to her. But, you know, Abby's still a lady. She still has emotion. She's still living a life, and she still has a lot of burdens to carry. And she shouldn't be getting just hated on by the way she looks, okay? You know, maybe if you're scared of a strong woman, you're just scared you're not strong yourself. And that's the thing. For a game where the main character, you know, Ellie, I'm supposed to be just loving her, I had more fun playing as Abby, because Ellie's kind of fucking weak, man. You know, you have to hit somebody 30 fucking times just to kill them, it seems like. Abby just run up and rip their damn leg off and beat them with it. It's like Shao Kahn up in this motherfucker. Okay, Abby, she come in, they running away from me. They scared. They see that face, they get into cover. Alright, Ellie, these motherfuckers just run up and beat the shit out of me. They beat me down, shoot me in the face, a zombie come nibble on my foot. I'm never having any luck with her. I actually had to turn my difficulty down. I started on regular, and it wasn't even that the gameplay was so hard. It's just I couldn't fucking find shit. I'd have no ammo, nothing to do. I had to move my shit down to light, and then I was able to finish the game. So I kind of been going on a tangent here. I'm gonna say this. If you are into a game like Call of Duty, like Gears of War, you want a game where you're just in a constant battle, where the enemies are hoarding in, they're pouring in on you, then this is not the game for you, okay? You're gonna run around, you're gonna fucking go into buildings, you're gonna fight identical enemies, you're gonna fight a few of them, they're gonna scurry around, you're gonna run out of bullets, you're probably gonna have to fucking craft some shit. And that's the game. You do that over and over, and you watch cinematics. And the cinematics are great. The cinematics, you know, they tell the story, they let you know what's going on, but sometimes they do seem very overbearing, and you almost get like kind of like a sigh when you see one start up. You're like, here we go again. You know, when I play a game, I want to be taken away from my problems in the world. I want to be transported somewhere where the stresses in my life don't matter. And all this game does is stress me the fuck out. And maybe that's why I didn't care for it much. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't think I fall in either of those categories. I tolerated it, I played it, it was okay. Like I said, the story was engaging. There's a lot going on. It was very emotional. The fucking graphics were great. The gameplay was good, but besides that, the shit was exhausting. And honestly, when it ended, I felt a real sense of relief. Like, finally, I can be done with this fucking game. I can try to get this review done. And to be honest, the fucking last mission was my favorite mission, because that's the only one where you actually feel like you have some power to you. You finally get a damn automatic weapon. And then after you play this whole fucking journey, they tell you, oh, play it again. No thank you. Even with the better weapon, I just don't have that 30 hours in me. I mean, I guess I could always skip the cinematics this time around, but it just didn't give me much reason to come back. So if you're into running around, wasting your time, getting pointless collectibles that don't really do anything, and trying to find little scraps to weapon up your gun so you can fight 3 or 4 people at a time and then watch a cinematic where the whole rest of the battle goes down, then this might be the game for you. But it just really wasn't the game for me. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you are able to make a decision from watching this. If you've been interested in the game, I will say if you played the first one, you might as well play it, because you've already started the journey. You might as well see how it goes. If you haven't played the first one and you're thinking about playing this one, you'll enjoy it, but I'm telling you, it's fucking exhausting, man. This game takes a lot out of you, and you will find points where you're just literally staring at the screen waiting for it to be over. So if you were able to make it through this video, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments. You know, be a homie, like and subscribe to be my real homie. Join the homie hood. We out here doing big things. But y'all have a good day. Fuck The Last of Us 2. Stay blessed.